What is up, everybody? It's Aaron and Ray back again with another episode of Franchise Tagged Fantasy Football. We're sorry for the little bit of delay. Life's been a little crazy. But other than that, we're going to try to release episodes, I think, going forward every Saturday, which is the current day you're listening to this on.
Hey, Aaron, while we still
Ray.
have the bulk of listeners that we're going to have, please, guys, stick around. We got a hot show. There is a lot of news to go over. But I wanted to ask you a real quick question.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I think that the listener group, if you want to drop this in the comments, we want to know what you guys think as well. Who would you rather take? If you were a quarterback needy team, would you take Bryce Young or Anthony Richardson?
I would take CJ Stroud.
You know, CJ Stroud's gone. You have to pick between the two.
Bryce Young.
Okay. So you're going to take the winner. You're going to take the less athletic.
To be fair, Alabama has the better track record for starting quarterbacks in the NFL over the other two.
True.
I know he's like, what, 5'10"?
You're pushing it. He's 5'7". He's 5'7". He was an inch taller than Nick Saban. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Man. Maybe. Who knows?
But I would take a chance on Anthony Richardson over Bryce Young, only because Bryce Young weighs 155 pounds soaking wet.
Dang, that draft combine got you, huh?
It's not the combine. It's just what it is. He's so small.
I would probably take Hendon Hooker over both, or not over both of them, but I'd take Hendon Hooker over Anthony Richardson, the quarterback out of Tennessee, but he got hurt.
I only really like one guy out of this draft for a quarterback. I like CJ Stroud. I think he's going to be something. He's an idiot, but I think he's going to be something.
Wow.
Did you not hear what he said? Like my favorite quarterbacks, he's like, I like Vic and I like Deshaun Watson. I'm like, what? You could have named anybody. It didn't matter who it was. You could have said anybody. You're going to go with the most negative PR guys you could possibly think of? What are you doing? Speaking of Aaron. So I see what you're saying. I would go with the higher upside with Anthony Richardson because I think that his upside is a lot higher if he does hit than Bryce Young. He can do a lot more things than Bryce Young could ever do if they both hit their ceiling. But that ceiling is a long shot, right? I think everybody's trying to get the Josh Allen on your team. That's what it is.
I don't know. Quarterback's tricky anyways. Not very few teams actually hit on one. And there's only 32 of them realistically. And out of those 32 that get the start, you'd say, 6 of them are like great talents. 12 are above average, and the rest of them are average or below. Realistically,
you want to know? This is something I came up with.
And I mean like 12 total, like another 6, like 12. Like
yeah,
six great, another 6 are above average, and then everyone else is average to just shit.
And then you have like the bottom 4 quarterbacks in the league. 3 of them are in the NFC South. So moving forward, I think that a team that could maybe go ahead and go get Anthony Richardson, let's use him as an example, the Seattle Seahawks. I think it'd be a perfect fit. Perfect.
Do you?
They got Geno for 3 years. Make Anthony Richardson sit. He's raw. Get him in a system. Get him to learn some plays. Learn how to be an NFL quarterback. Then, Geno's contract's up. Anthony Richardson can take over. And you still got 2 years left on a rookie deal.
That's fair. I could see
just an idea. Or for a Bryce Young, I think he should go to LA or to Vegas. I think he should go to Vegas.
Their O-line sucks.
I know, but I think he should go to Vegas because he's got a talented roster around him offensively.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that's just how I see it. I don't know, but we'll see in a few weeks, right? We'll see in a few weeks. Aaron, let's jump into this news because it's going to be a second here. Let's jump into this news. Okay. The Bears trading to go get DJ Moore and a boatload of picks, trading away their number 1 pick. What do you think about that?
Yeah, they had the 101, right?
Yeah, they want the 101.
They don't need a quarterback. That's a smart move because they got pick 9, pick 61, a 2024 first rounder, and 2025 second rounder, plus DJ Moore.
Haul.
Yeah, I would definitely. I mean, I saw something on Facebook earlier, and I wanted to respond, but I didn't want to use the brain power to talk to this person. They were like, the Panthers got fleeced. The Panthers didn't get fleeced because they can literally go get what they think is going to be their franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to give that up for a franchise quarterback. But on the same hand and nugget, why not just give up this year's first that you gave up in the 2024 first and go get Lamar and get him under contract?
That's what I
maybe
don't
because
understand.
it's cheaper.
We're gonna get to that. But I don't understand that. I don't
understand how the entire NFL, out of the 6 quarterback needy teams, super quarterback needy teams that there are, they're all like, we're not going to do this. Is it a statement that the Browns fucked everything up by giving he who shall not be named, Deshaun the bag?
Could be, and it's crazy that Deshaun's going to get his contract restructured.
Yeah, because they probably realized, we are stupid.
I can't say that you're wrong.
But, and I mean, Kyler got 165 guaranteed. Does Baltimore not? Okay, here's 185 million guaranteed. You're not going to be able to get what Deshaun got because that was an anomaly in the equation. But you've done more than Kyler, so here's more money than Kyler guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to get to Lamar in a second because I have a couple rants I want to get on.
We're not even going to get to the dang show we're going to actually supposed to be doing.
We might not, honestly.
It's going to be a news and notes show.
A lot of news. Chase Edmonds got cut by the Broncos.
Yep.
Who cares, right? Yep. Who gives a shit? Dolphins are picking up Tua Tagovailoa's fifth year option. That's kind of foreseen, but I still think that they're in the background looking for a quarterback. Don't be surprised if there's some sort of weird news and Rodgers ends up going to the Dolphins. Don't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at that either.
Don't be surprised. They're sneaky. Brock Purdy got his elbow worked on. He'll be fine for most likely the beginning of the season. I think it's still going to be a quarterback battle. Has to be, right? You can't see what Purdy did and what Trey Lance hasn't been able to do.
Oh yeah, definitely going into training camp. It's a quarterback battle.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about it.
I think it's Purdy's job until Trey Lance proves otherwise.
I think that it pushes Trey Lance in a way that he wasn't getting pushed with Jimmy G.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because Purdy is a long-term solution. Jimmy G was not. That's is what it is. Dolphins are converting Tyreek's $10 million roster bonus to $60 million salary. Who cares? He's getting his contract restructured. I don't really care about contract restructuring.
It's not really restructured. He's just getting more money up front in a bonus to make his base salary less to give them more salary cap.
More wiggle room. Adam Thielen getting released. What do you think about that? Where do you think he can go?
He's 32.
He's got one more shot at a number 2 gig.
You want to know a secret?
You want to go to
no, OBJ is, that would be cool, but OBJ is still he did his workout today or yesterday. Can't remember. I think those two wait to figure out where Rodgers is going before they do anything.
I could see that. I could also see if Thielen wanted to get froggy, get weird.
Yeah.
I know that everybody wants Buffalo to get a number 2. Buffalo needs to do something to add it. I think he adds a piece that they need. I think he can.
OBJ might go to Buffalo too. Who knows?
I'm so tired of hearing like, Buffalo's gonna do something. Oh man, no, dude, like stop.
I was so high on Gabe Davis, and Gabe Davis was not the move.
No, he was not. The Jets cut Braxton Berrios to get some more cap room. They also converted some more money from CJ Uzmazada, whatever, TJ Uzmazada.
Whatever. Anyways, Cardinals officially released wide receiver chosen Robbie Anderson.
Stop it.
He changed his name again. It went from a Y to an IE. Now there's a chosen in front of it.
I hate every part of it.
Yeah.
The Raiders are giving the franchise tag to Josh Jacobs, which I understand it makes sense from a football standpoint. Don't commit to a running back that's been injury prone except for this last season.
How much was his 5th-year option worth?
I don't know. I wish I could see it right now. I'd have to look it up.
I didn't
But
either, but 10.09 million or something like that.
yeah.
Just over $10 million.
And then some other names that got the franchise tag were Tony Pollard, Evan Ingram, Lamar Jackson. Obviously, he got his non-exclusive.
Did they non-exclusive them too, which is what's crazy.
I really want to. I'm jamming through this to get to it. Let me tell you. And then Saquon Barkley also got franchise tag. They're going to work out a deal. This is all stuff. Yeah, this is all stuff from the last episode we weren't on. Daniel Jones getting paid. I think that's the right move, but maybe too much.
Daniel Jones, yeah, I think a little. He did a lot with very little last year, and probably the year before that, and probably the year before that too.
I see where you're getting at, and I agree, but
I also agree. I would have probably lowered the base salary and added more incentives. That's just me, but
paid more than Pat Mahomes. Like, no,
but.
That's how the world works. That's how it works.
I know, but I also feel like, too, it's one of those, oh, shit, we're getting down to the deadline. We're close, but we're not, like, super close, and we still got to worry. We don't want to technically release Saquon because they needed to figure out who they were going to tag, right? Because they couldn't get a deal with Daniel Jones. They were going to tag him. So I feel like they might have gave him just a little bit more money just so you can, hey, let's just do this deal so we can tag Saquon and figure something else out down the road. Kind of kick the can, as you say, down the road.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't think that the Giants were close. That's the part. I don't think that they were close. Like, close as in, like, I don't think that next season they're going to come in with virtually the same roster. They might add James Bradbury back from the Eagles. They're in talks with them. I don't necessarily think that even that pushes them over the limit to say, hey, we're ready to roll.
Offensive pieces.
Yes. Well, cutting Kenny Galladay adds 2 pieces to your roster. So that's that. You won right off of that.
He has a huge cap hit, though, too.
Should have never paid that man. Should have never paid him.
I know.
All right.
Dak is restructuring his contract as well.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Ridley officially reinstated. He is now on the Jaguars. They got exponentially better.
Even if he's a number 3, even if Calvin Ridley ends up being, he doesn't come back to form. He's a Josh Gordon now. He just never gets back to what he was, and he's a number 3. He's a great number 3. You know what I mean? Like, great. But I think he'll end up taking Zay Jones.
No, he'll end up taking Marvin Jones' outside spot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Marvin Jones is done.
Yeah, Zay Jones will run the number 2, and Christian Kirk will just continue to play the slot.
I like everything they're doing right now. Everything they're doing, I like it.
I'm in. My wife's a Jags fan, so I get to ride those coattails, baby.
So you want to get to the last 3 biggest pieces of news from
these are going to take a while.
So first and foremost, Derek Carr going to the Saints. I think that's huge. That's massive.
I agree.
I think that if you got shares of Chris Olave, that's me. Boy, oh boy. Because if he could do it with what he had in Andy shitbag Dalton, my God, what he can do with a guy that has supported
shitbag
a top 10 receiver almost every year he's been in the league.
Do you think they call him Red Rifle because, like, I get his hair is red, but he has like the arm strength of a BB gun? You know how it's a Red Ryder BB gun?
For those folks that are colorblind out there, I was hoping that you were gonna go with like the Nintendo Duck Hunt gun. That's what he is. Like, it doesn't actually shoot anything. It's just a little laser. Just. I think it's a huge.
Oh, he throws ducks too. That's perfect.
Yes,
man.
It's all together. We're here now.
All together now. Full circle.
I think that's a decent move. I know a lot of people are talking shit about, oh, well, the Saints aren't close. The Saints aren't ready. What else is in the NFC?
The Saints are Drew Brees away from winning the South every year and going to the playoffs. I'm not saying they're probably ever going to have another Drew Brees, but you get what I'm saying. They're a good quarterback away from a decent quarterback away, because let's face it, Andy Dalton is one of those.
Let's just say
down the ladder quarterbacks.
A competent quarterback. That's really all they are.
You know what my favorite part about the move is?
What's that?
The Raiders allowed him to go to the Saints and pursue these talks and workouts and whatever, they basically tried to fleece and pull the wool over the eyes over the Raiders and say, "No, we're not doing this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that." Makes the Raiders basically pucker their buttholes and shit their pants of like, what are we going to do? And then cut them and then go signs again for a lot of money.
Oh yeah. And that's my favorite part too. It's like the Raiders did him so dirty.
Yeah. He was like,
They
fuck you.
benched him for no reason. They were like,
he wasn't going to give the Raiders any draft picks or anything back in
No.
the trade. He was like, fuck you
good,
guys. Yep.
good. Hey, that'll be
I like that the Saints were in on it.
Yeah, I love it. And maybe what he did was he kind of leveraged his money with other teams that were looking at him, like the Jets and like whatnot. But maybe that leveraged him to get a little more on the paycheck side. Yeah. Second to last news, I want to save Lamar to the very end because I think that's going to take a minute. And you're right. This is just going to be a news notes and hype train.
We'll do another one after. We'll do another episode later this week because this is we're almost 20 minutes into this recording and
that's fine. I'm with it. I like this. I like where we're going. Rodgers.
Yeah.
Big news. Rodgers.
I'm so tired of talking about Aaron Rodgers and everyone talking about Aaron Rodgers.
It's big news though.
Listen.
He's going to the Jets. He's going to the Jets. That's it.
Yeah, he visited the Jets on Monday, or the Jets visited him on Monday at his Malibu home.
He visited the Jets on some day in the weekend. They flew the entire staff out to California to talk to him Monday. I would assume.
I like how everyone was like, it's collusion. And then they had to come out the report that the Packers said it was okay. Like, that's fine. Yeah. Explore your options. If he wants to be a Jet, he wants to be a Jet, man. But I've been asked this question so many damn times of how do you feel about going from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love? Because everyone obviously knows that I'm a Packers fan. Like, we're obviously geographically separated, you and I, but everyone that I hang out with where I live, like how do you feel about, going from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love? Like, obviously it sucks to go from a Hall of Fame quarterback who is going to get the job done. Maybe not the last couple of years with the help that he's received from outside sources, but going from a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback to an unknown, if he's the third coming of Christ in Green Bay at the quarterback position, then awesome. We're doing great. But odds of that happening again are very low.
But I will say, everybody said the same thing about going from Favre to Rodgers.
I know, but I mean,
I'm excited.
Rodgers also came from Cal Berkeley, which is a huge D1 school in California, playing against decent defenses, and Jordan Love's coming from Utah State.
True, and I don't necessarily think that Jordan Love's going to come in and light the world on fire.
I don't either.
I did like what I saw in very limited spurts.
Well, we got 1 year. If Rodgers does go to the Jets, they have 1 year to figure it out.
Yep.
And if it's not, and if they missed on a guy that they probably could have waited to the second round where they drafted A.J. Dillon and drafted Jordan Love at,
I don't know. That's the tough part. I hope they didn't miss. But for his capital and all of the inertia behind him going to the Packers, he does have to hit. And I do think that he has the opportunity. He has a skill set. He has all the tools. He can.
I mean, he's been sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for 4 years.
And he can launch the ball. He's got a cannon.
That's fine, but like,
I'm just saying he's got intangibles. Can
he be coached? Can he make the throws? Can he make the plays? Can he read the defense? I know Darius Slay, when they played the Eagles, was like, man, that dude's a stud. But at the same time, dude, it's like, I don't know. And like I've said before, I hate Packers Twitter because it's either everyone's just slobbing on the knob of Aaron Rodgers or everyone just wishes that he would die a fiery death, what it seems like.
I'm right in the middle, honestly. I'd be happy either way.
Same. I would love if Rodgers came back and we got the old Rodgers, the 4,500 yards, 35 touchdowns, 4 interceptions Rodgers.
Yeah.
But I don't think. Hopefully Christian Watson will take a step. But he doesn't have very much. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't have the help that he's had when he's done that. Like, yes, Rodgers is great, but he's also had Jordy Nelson. He's had James Jones. He's had Devontae. He's had a prime Randall. You know what I mean? Like he's had weapons that have been able to help him do that. And then when you lose Devontae and you're like, oh, well, we only have Devontae. And then everyone bitches that he only throws the ball to Devontae. Well, where else do you want him to throw the football to? He hits MVS 65 yards down the field on a bomb and he drops it.
The other part of this last season was a very good example of it. And this is to move into the Jets side of the ball because I think it's a little more important. They're probably, if Rodgers goes there, they're contenders. They're shooting to go to the Super Bowl. That's their goal.
Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Breece Hall.
This is the part that I'd really like to hit on is that which Rodgers are they getting? Are they going to get the Rodgers that shows up to training camp? Are they going to get the Rodgers that actually puts the time in to build a rapport with the receivers? Or are they going to get the Rodgers that we got last season that didn't give a shit about the two rookies that we had and didn't build a rapport? And you saw in the very first play, you've got Christian Watson wide open. He's not expecting the ball there. And then bam, they don't have that rapport because he's seen him for 3 days.
Yeah. I think it comes down to Rodgers. I think Rodgers is honestly burnt out in Green Bay. I think he's tired of over the last 15 years, everything that has, happened.
Yeah. And I'm not taking away from that.
The Bears fucking told Andy Dalton that they were going to draft Justin Fields. Andy Dalton, after he'd been there for 3 weeks?
A cup of coffee.
That's what I'm saying. And they're like, oh, hey, by the way, we're going to draft this dude here in the first round.
Yeah, I see it from both sides, and this is what I really wanted to get to, and I wanted to get your take from it. Is which Rodgers do you think they get?
I think in a new situation where their Jets are going to be coming into that contract, which is what I got started on before I got on the Andy Dalton tangent. Rodgers is burnt out in Green Bay. Rodgers doesn't want to have to sit in Green Bay for an extra 2 weeks through minicamp, all this other stuff, and basically be around the people who leave him out of the loop, I feel like. So it's kind of not necessarily that he doesn't want to help and doesn't want to build rapport, but I think it's just the fact that he doesn't want to be there because he doesn't necessarily like the people that he has to work for.
It could be that. Who knows? I mean, he could just be like, hey, I don't need to because I'm the greatest thing since sliced shit.
He could do that too. But I think if he goes to New York being in a new situation with a new offense, I think he has enough respect for Robert Saleh to be like, I'll show up. I'll build some rapport with you guys.
Again, as somebody with Garrett Wilson shares would say,
you're hoping and praying.
Oh, that's me. Oh,
who else do they have?
Elijah Moore. They've got most likely Randall Cobb will go there because that's just what happens.
I think Adam Thielen will go there and beat Randall Cobb out of a job.
Or they have Odell. I hope Odell doesn't go there because I just want Garrett Wilson to soak in 135 targets, 1,400 yards,
135 Aaron Rodgers targets.
Beautiful. That's all I want, as my 13th round keeper. That's all I want.
Yeah. I do think he's gone though. I do think he's gone.
I think the compensation's already been talked about, and that by the time this drops tomorrow or later on, when you're listening to this today, we will have news that Rodgers goes to the Jets.
I literally think they're just waiting for him to say, okay, cool, I'm not retiring. Yeah, take me to the Jets. Or yeah, I'm just going to retire.
I don't think he's not
going to retire this year.
I do not think he comes back to the Packers. I do not believe that for a second.
And I think the Packers have, ever since they drafted Jordan Love, I think they've steadily been just trying to close that door on him and like push him out. And now that like he's willing to go somewhere else, I bet we're just about to slam this last little 2 inches of this door that's cracked open. We're going to slam it as hard as we can when you say the word.
Last part of this, do you think that the Packers changed the way that they operate, the way that they've done business, the culture that they have, so Jordan Love gets left out of every situation?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I hope they learned their lesson from Rodgers and they change.
I don't think so.
Get more progressive.
I don't think so. And I still think that they waste first round defensive draft picks to just hire a defensive coordinator who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing most of the time, and we steadily get beat and give up plays. I don't think that they'll ever hit on a third round draft pick, and I know you're in the boat with me there.
No, just throw them away. Take the third round picks, throw them in the trash.
Trade all your third rounds for double up fourth, fifths. I don't care.
Trade for sixth. Shit.
They 2 years ago with like Za'Darius and Preston Smith and stuff, they made a splash in free agency, but then that was quickly halted the following year when they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give you Sammy Watkins," after we just lost Devontae.
It got halted also because they had to pay Rodgers.
Well,
his salary cap dictates the fact that we can't make those moves.
Well, that's also kind of what happens when you don't necessarily have an owner that can just be like, no. And when you also don't have a backbone, but you still pay the person that you're trying to run out of town, which just doesn't sound like very smart business.
Blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
There's
I get
good
that,
sides of it, bad sides of it.
But that's
anything else?
Next point, though, if you actually hit in the draft, they drafted Jay Sternberger instead of Terry McLaurin.
No, hold on. Hold the phones. Hold your horses. It was Jay Sternberger instead of Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown, and DK Metcalf because they were all within 3-4 picks of each other. Could you just...
DK was the second.
DK was at the back end of the second. So was AJ Brown. Terry McLaurin was one pick before Jay Sternberger.
Yeah, that's fair.
They could have moved up and grabbed them or just fucking drafted them. Could you imagine AJ Brown and Devontae for that long? Could you just... Don't get me started. We're done. We're not talking about the draft. We don't do that here.
Who did they draft instead of TJ Watt?
We don't talk about that anymore.
Was it Kevin King?
It was Kevin King. We're not talking
was it Kevin
about
King?
Those things. Yes.
Who's not on the roster?
You're right.
Dang,
You're right.
They wasted a third round pick on Amari Rodgers too in the year that the wide receiver position was stacked and they could have jumped up and got somebody. Anyways, that's why I think Rodgers is gone. There's we literally just talked about the last 3 years worth of draft. How many times are they going to draft a cornerback in the first round and it not pan out?
It won't be this year because I hope we get Darnell Washington.
The giant tight end
that runs a 4.6 and can catch every single thing ever and can block and do all the things. Yes,
okay.
I like that guy.
Okay.
Let's get the freak athlete. Why not? We don't do it. We never do it. Christian Watson's the first freak athlete we've got in forever, in 30 years, forever. Freak athlete. RAS score off the chart. Let's get another one. Let's get more athletic.
Okay. All right.
Moving into the last subject here, Aaron. This is the one that really chaps my ass, really grinds my gears. Look, I'm going to go on a little mini rant. Allow me to expand. Okay. You're the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
What the fuck are you doing? You have a guy that you have provided absolutely no help to. He has not had a number one receiver the entire time that he's been there. The best option that you've given him as a true number one was Mark Andrews. You didn't draft him to be that. You drafted Hayden Hurst to be that. Hayden Hurst wasn't that. You picked up Sammy Watkins. He was a bag of dog shit. Hollywood, a number two in every other team in the NFL. Rashad Bateman, been hurt. Kind of sucks because I think he could be, but that's the point. They didn't get anybody for him at all. Yet, year after year, and an MVP, he has proven that he puts asses in seats, sells tickets, and makes the Ravens viable in a division that was tough throughout the whole time he's been there.
Their division's tough. They have a top third offense when he's on the field, and they have a bottom third offense when he's not playing.
And
that should tell you what it is right there.
And great friend of the show. I was talking to him last night, but we were saying, Brennan, me and him were going back and forth saying, hey, what do you think of, the Ravens defense as a whole the last few years? Do you think they've been elite? No, not really. They've been good, but not elite. Top 12. Top 12. I gave him top 12. I think that's fine. Top 12. So what I'm saying is that with Lamar, you're not going to pay him. You're not going to pay him. He's asking for $200 million. He deserves it. 100% deserves it.
With Daniel Jones got 140, is that right? 160 something.
What did Kyler get?
165 guaranteed. I think Daniel Jones's total contract is 160 something million with 84 of it guaranteed. If you're going to give him a contract for 160 million, what what does Lamar actually deserve?
All I'm saying
340 million with 184 guaranteed.
If you're basing it off of straight up skill, he should get a percentage of the salary cap because he's the only reason why they are viable at all. They have nothing behind him.
I don't know.
Yet they're just gonna shit on him. They can't bring him back. You can't sit there and say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you a contract now."
They're never gonna get a deal done now.
No, fuck no. If I was Lamar, I'd tell them to shove it wherever the sun don't shine.
Yep. Lamar needs to hire an agent, though. I know he doesn't want an agent.
Yeah, he does.
But he needs to hire an agent so other teams will come for him.
That, and I'm not saying that he's not an educated man. I'm not
either. But GMs don't want to walk. Yeah, GMs don't want to walk straight up to the starting quarterback and be like, nah. Like, there needs to be a little bit of that buffer.
Somebody that can grease the wheel both sides.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing that is even more disrespectful is that they paid fucking Roquan Smith before they paid him.
That's what I'm saying.
Got him from the Bears via trade and then turned around and paid him.
It just doesn't.
Roquan doesn't have an agent.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. I'm not sitting here saying that Lamar is generational because I don't necessarily think he's generational, but he is elite in the league. He's elite.
First round, number 32 pick, right? Still technically a first round talent, set behind Joe Flacco. Ooh, what's Joe going to teach him? Here's how you stand in here like a fucking stone and throw the football. like, I mean, what the fuck? League MVP the first year he starts, takes his team to the playoffs every year.
I just don't, and I get like, oh well, he gets hurt. Every quarterback gets hurt.
And exactly, every quarter, and especially when you're a running quarterback, especially when you play in the AFC North, where since the 70s has been touted for their stout defenses.
Couple that with the fact that reloading my original statement, he has no weapons.
That's fair.
So he has to do more.
That's fair.
I don't know. It's so frustrating to me to see. I wish the Packers would have made a move, or could. I wish they could. I would die if we got Lamar as a quarterback in Green Bay. I would die. I'd be like, yep, that's it. Because he's just exciting to watch. He's fun to watch. He puts asses in seats. He makes the Ravens money.
Yep.
So now the time has come where you have to pay him and you're saying, hey, no thanks, pal. We're just going to do a bidding war and then we're going to try and underbid whatever that is. Kiss my ass. No way. No shot.
And there's no way that you can look me dead in the eye and tell me there's not something going on behind the scenes with all the owners where a league MVP, 26 years old, in his prime, has taken steps forward every year that he's been in the NFL, and no one is going to even, hey, what's up? What's up, girl? You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna be like, no, we don't want him. Nobody, and it was quick. Like as soon as the non-exclusive tag came out, all these teams were like, we're not interested. We're not interested. We're not interested. We're not interested. We're not interested.
And that could be the price. It could be the new model. This is the only thing I'm thinking. Like I'm just trying to see it from another perspective. It could be the price. It could be what Lamar is actually asking. Could be $400 million. Who fucking knows? He hasn't said it.
Yeah.
If it's 400, that's steep. That's very steep.
But I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a generational talent, but he did
a 10-year deal.
I was going to say $1 billion over 10 years.
$500 million for 10 years.
Yeah,
$500 million.
$500 million over 10 years. Like,
and let me tell you, it sounded dumb at first, but boy, does that contract look nice now.
Yep.
Boy.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Too.
But that's my point is I don't understand why. I understand it's probably the guaranteed money, but if it's $200 million guaranteed, like you can put injury clauses in the contract.
It's got to be more than that. I want to know what it is. Even if it's just mind blowing, it's probably mind blowing because you guys haven't done anything for him since he's been there.
That's fair.
I don't know. I don't know. I wish that I knew more Ravens fans. You know, I have family out in Baltimore, and I want to gauge their reaction. Like, how do they feel about it? You know, because I don't know any.
I feel like the fans love them, and I think what's their GM's name, Di Maria or something like that. I forget what his name is. I feel like they're just like basically this dude's a fucking Nimrod.
I do agree though. He needs to get an agent, and to the point we were saying, I don't necessarily think it's because he's uneducated or anything like that.
I don't either.
I do think there needs to be a buffer, something to grease the wheels. You know,
so it's kind of just keep both sides happy instead of just.
You know, because sometimes it does help when you got a conflict with your boss to have somebody in between to say, hey, let's talk it out this way, because, you know, talking to each other face to face is just going to end up in more button heads. And I think that would help. But outside of that, I don't know. Where do you want him to go? Let's end it there. Where do you want him to go?
Lamar?
Yeah, where do you want Lamar to go? What's your dream situation for Lamar right now?
For him to stay in the AFC.
I'd like that, but where? I want him to go to Miami, but I don't think they can do that.
No, I don't think they can do that either. Send his ass to the Colts. Make the Colts good again.
Oh, I thought about it for a little while. I think Vegas would be again another cool option for it. They'd sell so many goddamn jerseys.
That'd be such a stacked division at quarterback, though.
But it'd be fun.
Outside of Russ, I'm ready to see what happens with Russ.
It'd be fun.
It would be.
Yeah. Outside of that, maybe Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Maybe Tampa Bay, but that's going to the NFC now. But just some teams to throw out there.
Carolina should have done it because Tepper has enough money that he could have paid him.
Yeah, and they would have still had DJ Moore, and they would have still had a budding defense, and I would have liked to see that. I would have liked to see Lamar with a true number one. Not to take anything away from Mark Andrews, but
Mark Andrews is great, but
he's a tight end. He's not.
There's only so much you can do at the tight end position.
Yeah, especially when you're only on the field 60 to 70% of the time, because his
you also have injury issues and have diabetes.
He's got them diabetes.
Yeah. He has what type? Diabetes 1 though? Type 1? I think that's hereditary.
The one you're born with. Yeah, the one you're born with. Yeah.
So but can't really help that, but
that's all I had.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
I don't know. The Ravens, to be fair, old numbnuts in Cleveland really screwed up the whole market, but the Ravens aren't doing them any justice whatsoever of that. Not to mention Deshaun is in the same division as you. Like that's gotta really chap your ass at that point in time.
Way too early take.
What?
Where do you feel like taking Deshaun Watson coming into the season?
Oh, off the waiver wire because he didn't show me anything last year that made me feel confident.
Okay, I just wanted to see. I think he's worth a late flyer right now.
I think I'm done with the late round quarterback draft strategy this year. I think I'm gonna mix it up this year, and I'm gonna go early tight end, early quarterback.
This last season really burned my britches, so I had to figure something out.
Your pants were on fire, huh?
Yeah, it burned my britches. That goddamn Jared Goff. I hate you so much.
Oh man, I picked up Geno and it was perfect.
I wish I would have picked up Trevor. Anything else, Aaron? Anything else?
Nope, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I just want to call this the rant episode. So as always, guys, please be sure to leave comments. Tell us what you think. Hit the thumbs up button. It really helps in the YouTube algorithm. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live and drop new content. And as always, please smash that subscribe button. That's what really helps us grow the channel, grow the community. We appreciate you guys. Follow us over there on Discord as well. And use code franchise tagged at driftlesjerky.com for 10% off of your order. And until next time, we will see you later.